everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a more informative video than my normal ones that are kind of more personal. And I wanted to talk about how I calculated my macros that I used. First things first, before going to any of this, my main two focuses right now are a calorie deficit and getting enough protein. I kind of let my carbs and fats fall where they may. I will be going over like what my goals are for them daily, but really it's kind of just, I really am focusing on just hitting my protein goal. If I have a more carb heavy day, that's fine. If I have a more fat heavy day, that's fine. I know it'll balance out eventually. I don't really care. As long as I have a calorie deficit and I have my protein goal, a-okay. So your first thing, if you want to calculate your macros, is to go to an online macro calculator. So the one that I used was, I went to calculator.net. And so if you go there, then you just scroll to the bottom of the page. They have like a grid, not a grid, like a chart almost of different kinds of calculators and a list of different kinds. So if you go to the calorie calculator and then click on that one, it'll load. On the right side of the page, there will be another box and in there will say macro. So you click on that calculator and then you just go ahead and fill in your information and it'll show you what different kinds of, there's one that's like a balanced, I think a carb heavy, protein heavy, like stuff like that. And you'll just pick, I picked the protein, what was it? I clicked the high protein option. You can click the balanced option, but I clicked high protein because I want to build muscle. So when I went to the website, I went ahead and put my information in because I forgot what it was. I have my, my calorie counting app preset. So I don't remember what it actually told me. So what I put in was age, I'm 26, female, obviously. My height, I'm between 5'6.5" to 5'7". I usually just put in 5'7". It's normally what I tell people my height is because I was 5'7" for a long time. So, if you're kind of in between, you can go the lower end or the higher end. I don't think it really matters if it's that small of a discrepancy. That's just me. My weight was 176, so that's my current weight. That's what I put in. I put, for activity, I put moderate exercise 4 to 5 times a week. For a while, I was working out 7 days a week, but I still didn't put that in because I know that that's not something I'm going to sustain for a long time. So I just put moderate exercise 4 to 5 times a week because that's typically my schedule. And then my goal was 1 pound of weight loss per week to keep it slow and sustainable. Slow and steady wins the race. So here were my results. I'll put them up here. And again, I chose high protein, not balanced, because I want my protein on the higher end of the scale to make sure that I maintain my lean muscle mass while losing fat. So my protein goal for that was 154 grams. My goal right now is between 130 and 150, depending on the day. I like having a range so that I kind of know. Some days 150 is just what I'm craving, and I'm not going to hit 150 and I'm going to hit 130, and that's fine because I know I'm still hitting like a decent amount of protein. Carbs was 204, fats was 46, and my food energy, which was the amount of calories that they want me to eat in a day, was 1801. So like I said, the two things I'm going to focus on are protein and the calories. I've been eating roughly 16 to 1800 calories a day. That's kind of just where I end up being satiated. I'm not starving at the end of the day. I'm not starving the next morning. That's just kind of what works for my body. I'm a part of a membership group and actually a free group from the same gal on Facebook, and she's amazing. And I see so many people in the membership group that will post their macro things from that calculator, and they will be either the calories are too low or the protein seems really high, or whatever it is. And if you're in that group, it's just really important to kind of just test things out and see what your body's going to do, see what your body likes, because bodies are, we can't just like calculate everything. Bodies are going to change. Like they're going to do what they want to do. So some people feel like 1800 would be way too low for them. Some people feel like they're eating 1200 right now. And they're like, oh my God, I could never. But really, I used to eat 1200 calories a day. I hated my life. So when I eat between, I've gone up to close to 2,000 if I'm like starving that day, especially if it's a really like long lifting session. I'll be real hungry. And your body's just gonna take that energy and do with it what it will. It's just energy for the body. I know it's energy in versus energy out. You want obviously to be in a deficit, but if you're in a deficit over the week, you're fine. One day is not gonna mess you up. So you would literally have to eat 3,500 calories over your maintenance in order to gain a pound of fat overnight. It's not going to happen. And like I said, I don't really care too much about where my carbs and fats land. I tend to eat a higher carb, lower fat diet naturally, just from the foods I tend to go towards. If you tend to eat higher fat, it's not bad, obviously, especially if it's like you're eating an avocado. There's a lot of fat in avocado, but it's healthy fats. Just eat the avocado. But yeah, so I just tend to eat fairly, because I love fruits. I like eating oatmeal, stuff like that has the naturally occurring carbs in it, just fine. So my diet just tends to be a little bit higher in carbs than in fat. Some days my fat is way higher because I really want some peanut butter, and that's fine too. But those two macros aren't quite as important when it comes to muscle gain. Obviously carbs is what your body uses for energy. So you do want to eat carbs because you want the energy to do your lifts, to do your cardio, to do whatever kind of movement you like to do that will help everything. So I'm very, very loosey-goosey with those. And I used MyFitnessPal for years. Die hard, loved MyFitnessPal, used it all the time. And I used, I think, Lose It too, or the two main ones that I loved using. I used First Form, but now it's really expensive and I don't want to pay for it. So what I use now is an app called Macros. I'll put a little picture of the icon and kind of show you what the screen looks like. I absolutely love it. You can customize your macros for each day. The thing I don't like is if I go over my protein, it shows as red. And I'm like, no, that's a good thing. That's okay. But yeah, it'll give you like an option of it like customizing your macros for you. I just decided to customize them myself because I kind of knew what my goals were from that online macro calculator, and I know that those parameters have been helping me steadily lose weight and have been helping my performance, so I'm not gonna mess with them right now. So like I said, if I'm honestly 5 to 10 grams over or under on my carbs and fats, I really don't care. If my carbs are like wicked low, I'm gonna try to eat some fruit or something to get those up, just so my body has enough energy stores to actually function through the day. As long as I hit my protein and I'm in a calorie deficit, it don't matter. But yeah, so that's how I calculated my macros. That's how I set up my dietary plan, I guess. Like I said, everyone is going to be so unique. Every journey is going to be so different. Every requirement is going to be different for every individual. So just kind of test it out and see where you're at. One thing you can also do is just track your food for like a week and see about what you're eating and kind of see the changes on the scale and see if you're at maintenance right now or if you're in a calorie surplus or a deficit, and then you can kind of tweak your calories from there. It's kind of hard if you're not used to doing it, but I've been doing it for a very long time, so it's almost second nature to me now. But if that's your main goal, that's going to be the main way that you're going to do it. So yeah, I think that's all the information I have today. Kind of a lot, but I think it's an important thing if what you want to do is, body recomposition. It's really important to figure out what you're eating, the macros you're eating, and all of that kind of stuff. So if you stuck around through this whole video, thank you very much. A lot of ranting and raving and good stuff. So if you could do me a huge favor, and if you're feeling generous, you can hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. I'm trying to gain some subscribers, get some traction on this YouTube. If you're feeling generous or you have a question, go ahead and leave a comment. I'll try to respond if there's any. And yeah, I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.